Hello, ma'am. Miss? I never know what's right. Everything seems to offend nowadays.
Hey guys, Victoria here, and welcome to the Geeky Sandbox. Today, we have to get down to business. I didn't mean to make a Mulan reference. Today, we have to get down to business because we have to break down episode 2 of American Horror Story Cult. So much has happened this episode, so I'm going to try to condense it as much as possible by going over my top 5 moments of the episode. But first, let's read our synopsis because, as usual, we want to know exactly what we're getting into for those of us who haven't seen the episode. And for those of us who have, we want to know exactly what we're tying our top 5 moments into. Okay, so I couldn't find one, so I'll just give you my own. Allie copes with losing her mind while Ivy runs their restaurant. Meanwhile, Kai is on the rise to run for the vacant spot on city council. Oh yeah, and the title of this episode is called Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
I don't know how much more of this I can take.
Number 5, the clown isn't in Ivy's bedroom. Surprise. But later on, there is an actual clown in the house. Allie sends Ivy on this wild goose chase, and at the end of it, Ivy just gives Allie a look that could kill. And at this point, I feel really bad for Allie because she's so confused and she's scared and she's not sure what to do. She's not even sure if she really knows herself at this point because everything she thinks to be true is turning out to not be true. But one of my favorite moments in that scene is whenever Allie first runs downstairs to tell Ivy, and Ivy's just like, well, what are you doing? We're not going to go back up there. We're going to call the police. But then Allie's like, but Oz is upstairs. And Ivy's attitude changed just like that. She like grabbed a knife from the kitchen and started going upstairs for their son. So even though I'm 100% sure Ivy is a part of the cult, I do know that she definitely cares for their son because of how she acted in that moment. Number 4, Allie and Ivy's bee-loving, creepy, Lemonade Beyonce referencing neighbors. Yeah, it's a mouthful. Allie's new neighbors move into the Chang's old home within days of their murder, and they're not bothered by it at all, which is exactly what you're thinking. Strange. And you know Allie's got our back. This doesn't sit right with her either. Allie confronts them on this, actually several times, actually.
Doesn't it upset you to be here so soon after what happened?
We don't scare easily.
Harrison and Meadow, the 2 neighbors, they're just kind of weird. And can I just say, Billy Eichner, one of my favorite human beings, and Leslie Grossman did an amazing job playing Harrison and Meadow. They were really, really creepy, like I mentioned earlier. You can tell there's obviously something up with them. They're not just a hetero woman and a gay man who happen to be best friends and also married. There's more to them than that. One of my favorite things that happens in this scene, as Meadow's pouring a glass of Crystal Light lemonade, she says,
I can't drink this stuff without thinking of Beyonce now.
Number 3, can Kai Anderson count on your vote? He cannot count on mine, I'll tell you that. Kai runs for the vacant city council spot, and as we guessed, the video that was being recorded on the mobile device was submitted to a news outlet, and surprise, surprise, Harrison and Meadow are actually the people who sent in the video. Kai has a broken arm and he's giving this big speech, see, our towns aren't safe anymore, and blah, blah, blah.
By the tragic murder of Councilman Chang.
And I did not believe him for 1 second. His face didn't even look sad enough. And he used the crowd's sympathy and their sorrow in order to get votes. Like, he used it as a platform. I'm interested to see how many people he can actually get to vote for him. With this show, I won't be surprised if a ton of people do and he actually gets in there and starts changing things around. Number 2. Allie's got a gun. After Allie finds one of her employees dead inside of her restaurant, she decides it's time to protect herself, and her creepy neighbors give her a gun. As soon as they do this, I immediately know it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. And you know, it's almost as if she was being set up. Like, they knew that she was going to not be able to handle the weapon. And don't worry. Talks of this gun will obviously return by the end of this video. Allie also fortifies her home in this episode. She gets bars on her door, bars on her windows, just the works. It's almost like she did it just in time because Kai shows up and he's like, "Can I count on you for your vote?" And she's like,
"You're that asshole who threw a latte on my wife and me. Isn't that right?"
Was that you? I'm so sorry.
We all know he did mean it. And she actually calls him out on it. It's like, "Oh, well, I don't believe you." And so at that point, she's trying to get him to leave her house, and he grabs the bars and shakes them, and he's like, "This is new," which should have been a red flag to Allie because what does he know what's new about her house? This is supposed to be his first visit. So what? Number 1, Allie accidentally kills Pedro, one of her employees from her restaurant.
Lesbians, we're under attack. What? The blackout.
So when a power outage hits the town, Ivy sends Pedro over to the house with candles and snacks and things that Allie and Oz might need because whenever they're on the phone, they lose connection. Allie hears someone in the house. She grabs Oz and, of course, don't forget the star of this episode, she grabs her gun. And they decide to wait by the door, and then when things get louder and it sounds like the person in the house is moving closer to them, she opens the door and then she sees a figure there and she shoots him. And it was Pedro with the candles and snacks. In theories for this episode, I only have 3. The big obvious one, Winter let the clowns in the house, which explains why she was trying to creepily seduce Allie in the bath. It was to give the clowns enough time to get in the house. Kai is actually going to get enough votes to be a part of city council. And I'm kind of scared to see how that whole thing plays out. The barrels is my last theory. It could either be some kind of mass chemical that they're going to use later on in the episode to hurt the community or to induce some sort of fear. Or it could be barrels of dead bodies, them hiding evidence from some of their past crimes for some reason. No 2 characters are extremely happy in American Horror Story. If you're extremely happy, it's either because you're about to die or it's because you're hiding something. Each video, I'm going to point out some phrases that caught my attention and that will also play a big part in the episodes that we still have left of the season.
Vote Kai Anderson. Vote for the man who can take your fear away.
You're going to give me your fear, Oz. I'm going to keep it for you. It's going to make us both stronger.
A hive is the perfect natural community because every single member of the hive is completely committed 100% to a singular task. There's no arguments, there's no complaints, there's no me.
If you like this video, please give me a like rating down below and leave me a comment. What do you think were in those barrels at Meadow and Harrison's house? And if you're new to my channel, hello! And hit the subscribe button so you can get more videos like this one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!